Alright, hello and welcome back to my Eruption of Shame. Today we have the 2023 December Humble Choice Games. So, the December 2023 Humble Choice Games. And from the outset, compared to others, this doesn't seem too bad, does it? At least not for me, anyway. So, yes, as usual, I will be going through these games, talking about what is included and whether I think it will be a good deal or not. Keeping in mind that a lot of people would have gotten a 25% off the Humble Choice because it came with something they've recently released. There's also people who would have bought the $99 deal. And basically, the $99 deal means they got an entire year for only $99. So, let's go have a look at the games. First up, we have Expeditions Rome, which, RPG strategy, party-based CRPG. I love CRPGs. I gotta say, though, it looks like a Rome Total War game, doesn't it? But it's apparently an RPG. Amazingly, I've never actually heard of this before, but I quite like CRPGs. I looked on my list, it says I already have Expeditions Vikings, which probably came out in a Humble Choice as well at some point. So I think this, as a headliner, is pretty decent. As we'd see here, I've got this little attachment now, which helps me see the historical lows and such. Base price, 64. And apparently, currently on 62% off discount, with the lowest being a 75% off discount. But honestly, even with that discount, even with that lower, 17 is still is still a little bit less than the cost of the entire bundle. So yeah, 18 is the cost of the entire bundle. Less if you get the yearly one. So yes. Next is Midnight Fight Express, an action beat 'em up title, which I will probably suck at, but it looks good. And it looks like something I haven't ever went for before, which I think is a big thing, right? Like, I like a humble bundle, a humble collection that is either filled with things on my wish list or filled with things I've never seen before. And this comes into the I've never seen it before camp. So, not bad. Once again, just comes in a historical low of just under $14. Just under $15. Which is okay. We're getting multiple games. As long as you find 2 or 3 games the Humble Bundle good, that's all that really matters. Now, the next game is Elex 2. I did play Elex 1. It was a bit clunky, and I still need to play more of it, to be honest, at some point. But I had an okay first impressions with it. It was definitely had a bit of that what feels like Eastern European jank. I don't know if that's where it's from or not, but it just had a bit of that jankiness you see in some games. But it wasn't a bad game, from what I could tell. So I did actually have Elex 2 on my wish list because when I saw it, I was like, you know what? So you know what? I'm okay with this. It's also one of the more expensive titles in the bundle, having never released to the low price of the bundle before. So that's pretty good, and it's a $70 game normally. So yeah, that seems like a no-brainer. Next one, Nobody Saves the World, another one that was on my wish list. This one, action RPG hack and slash, gorgeous art style, and a hilarious name to it. This is another one of those games that's been on my wish list for a fairly long time, but I don't really know very much about it. So it's one of those ones that's still going to be a bit of a surprise. Overall, though, a really good pickup for me. It's a bit cheaper than the other games, but I am very much a fan of RPG games, and I'm very much a fan of RPG games with a bit of, with a little bit of character to them, and that's what I see here. So that's good. Next, we have the Gunk, an exploration action venture game that I have never heard of once again, which is interesting. I have heard mixed reviews about this on Reddit recently because this entire bundle, except for the last 3 games, was leaked before release. However, given that this is in a bundle, oh, it actually has been free at one point. Interesting. But given this is in a bundle, I think that realistically, it's okay to pick up. It may not be one of the best games in the lot, but you know. Next is The Pale Beyond, a resource management survival simulator. It looks like it's very much got a lot of like visual novel vibes to it, which I think is fairly good. So yes, you explore, you try and survive, and you go through a series of random events. Honestly, this seems like a particularly high fidelity example of this sort of game. And I don't mean in terms of like high quality graphics. I mean like it really looks like it's got a really nice art style that they've doubled down, tripled down. They've made something pretty nice. As you see, it's got the really detailed 2D, and then it's got this sort of created sprite work, more like a traditional like RPG style thing. So honestly, this is another example saying I am quite excited about trying. So that's good. Um, Also only released in 2023, so that's interesting. That's 2022, 2022, 2022. Yeah, the rest of them are all 2022. But this was 2023, and I know that. Yeah, it's later on. One of the ones in the Prime bundle of that. Then we have the Last Call BBS. So Zachtronics games are interesting. They often require a bit of work to make fun. I'm always a little bit afraid of them, but they're also pretty interesting games. So yeah, I like anything which creates a virtual PC of any kind. So I was actually pretty psyched to get this. Even though I've had a pretty, you know, a questionable like history with Zachtronics games. Like if you watch my Space Cam videos, directly after I finished that video, I kept trying to play it because I was still having a fun time, and I just fell apart. I just completely lost. I always have a hard time with Zachtronics games, but this does seem pretty cool though, doesn't it? Oh well, I think it's a good one. And finally, in the Humble Bundle at least, we have From Space, the only one I did already own, and the only one that has online co-op. So it's probably a good. Well, I don't know if the other ones did, but I don't think there was. It is a game that's got some multiplayer, so it's fine to have a duplicate key of this. But yeah, no, it looks beautiful. It looks really like high like look at all the neons, right? That's an interesting art style. It's not the world's most expensive one. In fact, the lowest speed is $5. But yeah, come on. It looks like a pretty good pickup of the final one. Overall, I think this Humble Bundle is the best one we've seen for the last 2 or 3 months. Like there was definitely some good ones, like previously in this year. But like I didn't do much with November 2023. I've still got to claim some of my keys from that. I haven't bothered. That's how little I cared about November. October, September, that was okay. That's where I got Aces and Adventures. Okay. August was okay, and July was pretty good. But realistically, when it comes down to it, it's been pretty mixed this last little while. So yeah, yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see another good bundle pop up, but we know this is only going to be temporary, and we'll still be watching the games in January to see if they're any good. So there's that. Now, obviously, another thing we talk about is the Prime games. Now, currently, these are the games you can collect on Prime if you have a Prime membership. As we talked about last month, we have a bunch of these recharged remakes that came out over this last month, and I would assume we will see more as time goes on. The big one I have to say is worth it from the previous collection is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, but most people already know that. But if you've never played Star Wars, I gotta say, played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, I gotta say, Knights of the Old Republic is old BioWare in its best bloody form. You know, BioWare before Mass Effect 3, before Inquisition. Not Inquisition 2 wasn't. I mean, it was fine, but before, the crap that was Mass Effect Andromeda, right? It was good old school BioWare, and I mean that in its best possible way. So certainly this one was worth it. Now, what is coming out in the next month? Well, according to Forbes, has an article up. Deathloop is coming out on the 7th. This will be an Epic Games Store title. Honestly, it's kind of crazy to me just how good some of the games that they give out in the Amazon Prime model can be. But yeah, I wish they give out Steam keys. Even though I already own it, I wish they give out Steam keys rather than Epic keys because, I don't know how long Epic's going to be around for based on all that talk about, yeah. Next is AKR. Another game I've never heard of before. A top-down bullet hell, but certainly looks, shall we say, low poly. Very, very, very low poly. Like, DOS game low poly, which is fine. Especially for a bullet hell, because there has not been that many good examples of bullet hells over the years. 2023, it's a brand new game. That's interesting. Now, I say brand new, it's almost a year old, because obviously we're only a couple of months off February now. But it's still released in 2023. The rest of the Humble Bundle games were all 2022. That's fine, I just find it interesting. Next one, Aground, a 2020 survival game. And, yeah. I mean, it looks interesting. It looks unique, which is hard for a survival game to do. I have never played it. I want to play it. I don't know if I own it on Steam already. I think I do own it. So, yeah, I do own it. So this one would have already been on my Mountain of Shame at some point or another. Apparently, it also says backer items, which means that I would imagine that it was a Kickstarter at some point as well. Yes, previously exclusive to back as a Kickstarter. So, yes. Yeah, that's interesting. Ciorama, World of Shipping. Wait a second. What? This is coming out December 14th, 7:50 for me. This is a brand new game. This is a brand new game coming to Amazon Prime. Like, granted, it's nothing special. It's coming alongside AKR and Aground on December 14th, which will be December 15th for me. That's interesting. This is a brand new game being released on Amazon Prime. That's a real interesting one right there. Okay. I can dig it. That's pretty cool. Then we have Combinera. So April 2022, not one of the newer ones. It's coming out on December 21st. It will be an Epic Games key. So that may be good or bad. Now, next one is another one. Like, I was gonna make a big thing about this has only just been released like last month or so, but we've literally got a game that was released that it hasn't even been released yet, coming out in the Amazon Prime. So, okay. Ooh, I like the bird. Now, I already own this game because I was a Kickstarter backer. It's a lovely little indie title out of Mexico. Just a charming little game. I am looking forward to playing this whenever I pick it up out of my mountain. Oh, I guess now. Offered on my members thing, but yeah. And finally, on the same date, December 28th, just before the end of the year, we of course have Asteroids Recharge, which is a remake of Asteroids. So nothing much to say here. Asteroids is Asteroids. But yeah. So yeah, I honestly, I think this lineup of Amazon games is probably the best lineup we've had in a long time. Like, we got several new games, several games I haven't really heard about. And yeah, that's a strong showing from Amazon. In fact, it's a pretty strong showing from Humble. Now, as for other bundles that are out at the moment, well, there's a few to talk about, but there's one that most people are really all that matters. So, first of all, the Uplifting Adventures bundle. I automatically bought this bundle because I really, really loved everything about it. I already had Tinykin and I already had Mail Time. I was actually Kickstarter backer of Mail Time. But as for the rest of them, Venba was on my wish list. Bear and Breakfast on my wish list. Pass About 2 is on my wish list. I'm pretty sure Wildflowers was on my wish list. Like, I love me a good cozy life sim and a good cozy game in general. So this was honestly a no-brainer. If you do buy, once again, remember you can turn down the price to the lower area. And if you're feeling bad about that fact, just remember it's not a big difference to the charity contribution. It's not even too big of a difference to the developers. It just takes a little bit out of Humble. So, which is you may not want to do. Maybe this month you think you should reward Humble because it's actually not a bad collection this month. Then we have Fight Type 1 Diabetes with JRPGs. This one I didn't back because obviously I own a lot of them already. I've played a Nexamon title on my Nexamon 3 coming soon. Nice. I played a Nexamon title on my channel already. I've got Dark Deity. I was a backer, not of Rising, but technically the same thing. I backed this one, Chronicles 100 Heroes, and I did buy this one separately. I missed the cheap sales on the Kickstarter. It came out at that point. I didn't even notice it. I backed obviously Edge of Eternity. I played a bit on my channel. Planning on going back to that one a bit more myself sometimes. So yeah, there wasn't really anything there for me. But if you like the look of it, then it's not a bad deal for $22.70. And you know, there's nothing wrong. In fact, it's actually very good to fight against type 1 diabetes. Then we had the Fanatical bundles. It's Bundle Festive. So basically, it will release new bundles every single day. That being said, Best of Bento. That's new. I hadn't seen that before. Ooh, let's go have a look at that. Well, I might as well go look at a couple of them actually. But yeah, I wasn't too impressed with any of the current selections of games. In general, obviously we are expected to see another Platinum bundle. Because there will be the December one, and that's usually the big key one. That should be coming out at some point soon. Obviously, you got consistent play as you go bundles and all sorts of other bundles here as well. I haven't been too excited about the Fanatical bundles of the last couple of days, or the last couple of months, just because I think I've bought so many of them that I'm sort of running out of steam. So yeah, Best of Bento bundle. Let's have a look at this. I assume Best of Bento means it's like mostly redos, and I'm seeing mostly redos here. I think I've got the Kaiju Dating Sim. I had Dark Deity. Long Live the Queen. Yeah, I don't see anything new here. I don't know if I've seen Night Cascades before. I'll still look at this and see if it's there, but I don't. Well, I just did a video on is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon, and it's coming out in a couple of days, so. Oh boy, that was a weird game. That's a really weird game. Check out that video when it comes out. Killer bundles are usually pretty good. There was a lot of repeats here for me, so I didn't buy the killer bundle this time around. But you know, obviously highlights Surgeon Simulator 2, which Encased is quite good, and Prey, or there's a few interesting games there if you don't own it. Then the Bandai Namco collection. Now I will say, if you don't own these games already, this is pretty cool. Tales of Berseria is really good, and so are the other Tales games, obviously. But I always like Tales of Berseria because that was my first one I tried, and I really love the color and the emotions and the raw feeling of Tales of Berseria. It's really good. Okay, Tales of Zestiria a little bit more boring, a little bit more slow paced. Actually, the unofficial sequel to Zestiria, to Berseria, even though it came out. So Berseria is actually a prequel to Zestiria, even though it came out after. So that's interesting. And then a bunch of One Piece and Naruto games. I don't know. If you guys think I should buy this and have this on my mountain, I will. I will buy all these strange One Piece games. but I have never gone into One Piece. I always found the art style and the fighting and all that like not that good. But if you turn around and tell me, oh, actually, World Seeker was a bloody masterpiece, even if you don't like One Piece, and I'll buy this bundle. But at the moment, I'm sort of like, yeah, about this bundle. Platinum Collection is obviously usually the best collection. I usually buy this in general, unless there's like no new things for me. It's usually their best bundle of games. So just make sure when you look at the next one comes out, it says ending of the day, then the next one will come out. So yeah. And finally, the Build Your Own Play on the Go bundle. These are quite good if you've got the a Steam Deck. However, they've often got some good stuff in them in general. I don't remember if I bought this. I don't think I did, just because I had a lot of them already. Now, obviously, the final bundle is one you've hopefully already seen if you've seen my previous special Eruption of Shame, and that is the Jingle Jam is also out. The Entropy Center video is out now, so you can actually go and have a look at that. I did enjoy it, but I have been told that after the point I stopped playing, it gets a little bit less interesting. I was originally keeping it to see if you want to see more of it to play it again. So if anyone requests more, I'll do so. But yeah, I did hear it goes downhill narratively. About when I decide to stop by my own chance. So take that with a grain of salt. That being said, if it's included in a massive bundle of stuff alongside a bunch of other good games, then I guess that's what's important, right? So if you haven't looked at this bundle, I would probably consider looking at this bundle. It is quite cool. And I love it every year. So there's that. So yeah, that is the Humble and Amazon Prime and bundles of December 2023. I gotta say, not bad. Not bad at all, to be fully frank. Now, I am about to go home to my parents' place over the holiday season because that is what I do. Now, that being said, I hope that everyone has a lovely holiday season and has whatever form of holiday they find is the most relaxing. I will be doing more recording to ensure that both Coral Island and Humble and Sandrock come out through most of the time I'm away, but all the normal videos are still uploaded. So there will be no break in programming. I think I have one really bad one for Christmas Day just because I don't expect many people to watch at Christmas. But apart from that, everything's just coming out as normal. So don't worry if you think, oh, YouTube always slows down over December. It doesn't have to. I've already pre-made everything. Starfield's coming out. We've got Dave the Diver coming out. Speaking of, I finished my Dave the Diver. I finished my Dave the Diver series months ago when it first came out, obviously. And since then there has been a patch. I will probably record that before I go. Hopefully there isn't another Christmas patch that comes out, but I'll have that out to come out in early January. So I hope you like that as well. So thank you for joining me. Thanks again to my very small but very valued collection of members. So thank you. I do appreciate the fact that you actually decided to give me money for this. I know it's not much, and I'm not expecting this to become my full-time job, but I do appreciate it. I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with said money. I'll probably um, put it back into games for the channel when it does finally go to me. But you got to earn $100 for that even happen. So it'll be many months, many months for that happens. But if you'd like to join, there will be a link in the description down below, so you can join us and make a vote or make your name heard on the next Members Mountain. Another thing I'm doing is when my Members Mountain comes out from now on out, when that poll comes, I will be uploading my mountain. As in, I have made a anonymous Excel sheet, Google Sheets sheet, and I will be sharing that with my members. So you will be able to see the entire mountain to help you make a informed choice in the members poll. So I hope to see some more people show up at some point. I hope you enjoy today's Hollow Knight episode, which just released. If you are a member, if you're not a member, that'll be in members only mode until next January when I release the next Eruption of Shame. So that is the plan. I'm going to basically release the Members Mountain videos at the same day as I do Eruption of Shame because I feel like that's the best way. If you don't want to watch Eruption, you can watch last month's Mountain, Members Mountain. So that'll be the idea. So I will obviously advertise that in this because it won't count as a new video. So I'll say, hey, blah blah is now free for everyone. Go and check it out. So thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.